Is this Kathy?
Yes, it is.
Is this Kathy of 5 Feet of Fury?
That's me.
Well, you are on the 99-second radio show with BigFurHat.
That's great. Glad to be here.
What a stellar reaction I got out of you. Oh, so is this the pinnacle of your career?
uh, it's right up there. It's getting up there.
It's right up there.
It's close.
Well, we had no pre-interview, and I didn't even give it much thought about what we're going to talk about. But I get the sense that you're the perfect guest for that kind of format.
Maybe. You never know. Well, we're about to find out.
So I always wondered this: 5 feet of fury. Does that mean you're 5 feet tall?
Well, actually, I'm 4'11", but that just didn't scan. It doesn't have the same ring to it, so I picked 5 feet of fury instead.
And that means you're even shorter in Canada, right? Some sort of
That's right. We have that stupid French metric system.
So
Which I purposely refused to learn in school, along with actual French. So unlike most Canadians, I still use imperial measurement, and I still refuse to speak French, just out of spite.
Well, how do you figure out how much gasoline you need to put in your car?
My husband does all the driving, so
Yeah,
I don't care.
that's another. I have a bone to pick. You talk a little bit too much about this husband. I don't know. That's kind of that's a bit of a turn off.
Well, his blog, which he started after he met me, and he he started a few years ago. He now has far more readers than I do. So I may be the one who's in their 12th year of blogging, but he's the one who gets all the attention from the news media around here, and he has way more readers. So he beat me at my own game. This week, the one that's making headlines around Canada, and I think almost just about to break worldwide, is that the Toronto School Board website had a page recommending, other resources on the web for kids who were curious about sex, and one of those websites advises kids to having sex with vegetables.
I was just reading that on your blog, and what I didn't look to see what vegetables they are advocating. Is it more the tubular or the round ones, or maybe ones that maybe you can poke holes in? I'm not sure what where they're going with this. Was it a squash?
No, but we're having a lot of fun with it, and sometimes he gets frustrated because only Sun News, which is kind of like our Fox News, ever gives him credit for breaking these stories. They're pretty rigorous about that. Everywhere else, they just they steal it from Sun, and then they just don't give him credit for it.
Yeah, down here in the lower states, we want Sun TV desperately. Ezra Levant, Michael Corrin, they they are light years beyond what anybody on Fox is doing, and we're kind of envious of that.
Well, it's true. I used to watch Fox religiously, and like the day we got Sun up here, that was kind of it. I almost forgot where Fox was on the channel, and when I do occasionally go over to Fox or elsewhere, I think, wow, this really is, we really do have something going on over here, because I'll send things to people, or they'll email me and go, is this really on your television set?
Can we mention where you are? I mean, I know where you are.
Oh, yeah, I'm in Toronto. I'm in the phone book. I get, threatening phone calls. Everybody knows my email, whatever, it's not a big deal.
The essence that we get out of Canada is that it's completely progressive, but can you shine any light on that as far as what you see when you go out in your community? Is it very progressive, or is there a big conservative contingency that we don't hear about?
Well, Toronto is sort of like, living in most of New York City would be, I imagine. But of course, there are places in Toronto, in Canada, that are notoriously pretty conservative, like Alberta, or most of Alberta, and even in other parts of Ontario. If you go to northern Ontario, it's sort of like traveling back in time to Toronto and my hometown of Hamilton, but 40 years ago. Their idea of exotic cuisine up there is still chop suey. It's a little time. It's like an exercise in time travel, and the average person probably is more conservative than they think. I think you have this in the States too. You talk to people and they go, "Well, I'm a Democrat," and then you go, "Well, but do you really believe in X?" And they go, "Well, no, that's pretty stupid." "Well, do you really believe in Y?" Not really that much. So sometimes people label themselves.
Yeah, they love the label.
Love the labels. It's a great way to avoid having to think if you just grab a label when you're about 25 and stick with it. Well, I checked that off my list.
Well, we're up against a hard break, and we're going to come back.
Okay.
All right.
No, that's great.
We'll be right back. And we're back with Kathy Shaidle of 5 Feet of Fury. I posted a video of you on Sun TV with Ezra, and many people remarked that, I remember one comment specifically, it said, if Hillary Clinton had an ounce of cute in her, this is what she would look like. Now, have you heard that?
Yes, I do look like Hillary Clinton. I do. I just come out and say it because then people know to expect it. When Robert Spencer finally met me at some kind of Washington, D.C. thing, that's what he said to me after all these years was, "You do look like Hillary Clinton," screaming across the auditorium. So I know that that only happened later in life. I kind of went to the trouble of getting laser surgery so I could get rid of my glasses, and I got braces that I had on for 4 years, invisible ones, to finally fix the crooked teeth that my mother could not afford to fix when I was a kid. And then one day, as a result of all this, and who knows what, I looked in the mirror and went, "Oh my God, what the hell just happened?" And it was, but people say, you could, if she gets elected, then you can clean up by being a Hillary Clinton impersonator. Because I had the laugh too, and not on purpose.
I'm looking in the mirror right now to figure out if I can put a big, giant, red gin blossom nose on, get the Clinton hairdo, the Bill Clinton haircut, drop my pants around my ankles, and we could go out as a team and clean up. What do you say?
That would be pretty funny. The best Clinton impersonator is very unlikely. It's Frank Caliendo, who doesn't look anything like Clinton, and he does a wonderful Bush, but his Clinton is fantastic. He says, Clinton can make you believe everything he says, and then he looks into the camera and says in his Clinton voice, "I am not here." And it's uncanny. Like you almost see him before your eyes.
Now, what about Mr. 5 Feet, Blazing Catfur? Does he have any chance of looking like Bill Clinton?
No, absolutely none whatsoever. He's shaved his mustache. Until he got rid of it, he kind of looked like John Stossel a little bit.
Oh, all right.
He's very dark. He's Quebec heritage. There's a little bit of Indian in everybody who comes from Quebec, going back in time, and so very dark hair, dark eyes.
Wait, is he running for senator in Massachusetts? With that? Does he have high cheekbones?
No. But he doesn't really look like anybody who we could make large sums of cash from, unfortunately.
Yeah, the John Stossel lookalike. They're not looking for that right now.
There's just not a big demand for whatever reason. Who knows?